Hello, everybody, and welcome back to video 25 in this series. I'm preparing some lecture notes and was just making a video to review the first draft of them and make edits. And I decided I would share the videos instead of just deleting them in case other people find them useful. So the last few videos, we've been talking about storytelling. We started off doing a whole bunch of stuff in the game engine, put a landscape in, a character, and a bunch of other things along the way, have our character moving, but we're up to the point of why is our character moving? What are we doing? Uh, an old saying that it's not enough to have your character move, you need to make the player fall in love with your character. So we need a story to tell. So that's what we're in the last video. After covering some concepts of creative writing, I jumped into the tips I have and the process I have for whenever a story needs forced out. If the story's flowing out on its own and you can barely stop it, then do your best to not get in its way. But at other times, when we're approaching it like a job and we have to come up with a story and we're not feeling very creative, that's what my tips and process that I was describing are for. So now we're ready to apply that process, and I'm going to kind of go through the steps. I already have a story in mind here, but as an example of showing the application of that process, uh, and then we will have a reason for our character to do things and a story to tell with it. So after we get the story outline, we'll probably come back, and the next thing will make it be a cutscene, and we'll be back in the game engine to tell the story. And look right now, looking at that storytelling aspect that is so often overlooked whenever we're just checking out YouTube tutorials on how to use a game engine or looking at official documentation. But what do we do with this tool is sort of the idea. So let's put a story together for this game. And in the last video, I described my general process, which is pretend like writing half a season of a TV show uh, as a template to fill out. So, not actually writing a TV show, but obviously this one is for a game, but that's just the approach I would have to get all the components of creative writing together in an organized fashion. So, sort of a template to fill out. So, first thing I do is split it up into three sections, three overall sections. So, um, I'll do numbers. So, first off is the characters and the setting. The second one is sort of a synopsis. And the third section will be the episodes. And I usually go for 11 of them. So I start by thinking about half of a TV show, season, which is usually around 20 episodes. So 11 seemed like a good number to me. And then that way, uh, those first 11 are going to be very much that thing we want to avoid when introducing our audience to a plot of this happened, then this happened, then this happened. That's what these are going to be. And then there's some blanks to come back and fill in later to break that up into a nice ebb and flow. So 11 episodes. So I'll come in here. Can I change that to numbers? I guess it's going to be letters. Nope. That's going to change that whole list. Um, undo that. And I'll just do it this way. I'll make it a list inside of there with just some regular numbers. So episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I want to get this much of a template filled out. There'll be some sort of synopsis to go in here and characters and settings, which are just very rough descriptions of the characters and stuff. So for our example here, I'm going to start with the synopsis here of the story I had in mind. So let's call our character Jake. First thing we want to do is give him a name, which I'll add up here. So Jake lives alone in the mountains It's peaceful and he's happy. Then we need something to happen. So there's our introduction. But then one day, aliens invade. It doesn't bother Jake about aliens conquering cities on Earth. But when they come to his mountain and disrupt his peaceful solitude, he doesn't like it. Jake has to fight off the aliens from his mountain or risk being captured and face an unknown fate. So there we go. So brainstorming. Definitely not grammatically correct here, rambling. I was fixing typos, but this is the sort of thing that you wouldn't want to worry about typos. This is just the process to get it done. So now we have a story. So we have some characters. Jake, main character, fighting aliens. Maybe he's out fishing. Out fishing when aliens arrive. Grabs the first stick he sees to fight them. So there's our game. So he's going to run around with the stick beating up aliens until, yeah. So I guess then that's our next character. We need some aliens. Easy aliens for beginning a game. Medium, hard aliens, and then the boss alien. So we see how I'm just kind of filling out this template. So I guess what episode 1 would be, I'll kind of abbreviate this a little bit and not fill out the whole template, but hopefully you see that process for forcing out a story. So Jake is out fishing, sees the alien ship arrive. So this will happen as a cutscene. Then Jake finds a stick and starts beating up easy aliens. And that'll go on for a while, and somewhere down here starts beating up medium aliens. I guess the next level up to hard aliens. I could add some details here. 1 hit on the easy aliens. 3 hits on the medium aliens, and maybe 7 hits to beat up the hard aliens, and then eventually get to the boss fight. And hopefully you see the process there. Just kind of set up that template and start filling it in. Right, this is a brainstorming thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. Don't worry about errors and issues here. Just keep filling in the template and adding in details until you feel like you have a good story. And that's my method for forcing out a story. So now we have a story we can tell. I guess the first thing is to introduce it, the cutscene. And that's going to be a lot like the game development. So that'll be the next thing, but I'm going to not bother to record we already saw how to make models and do animations. So for brevity, I'm going to go ahead and make those, and then we'll put them together in a cutscene instead of a playable scene in the next video. The big difference, you can probably already predict what it is. Instead of the keyboard controls, we'll use timer controls to get the animation. Otherwise, everything will be exactly the same as what we already did. Then we'll need to add an alien in. So I'm going to make some models before the next video. We already saw a video of how to make models and the basic process. And then I will be back. Now we're ready to get back to the game engine and use those tools to tell this story. And hopefully we'll have a fun game when we get to the end. And just thought I'd share my process with y'all, and hopefully you find it useful. I'll see you in the next video when we're back to the game engine and using our game engine to tell this story.